Warning: the following video has not been approved by the Comic Code Authority and is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a special edition of The Comic.Assassin. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I am actually entering Kavi's Comic Book NYC's 1,000 subscriber giveaway contest. First off, I'm putting his link down below. If you haven't checked out his stuff, you should. If you want to see some good banger books, if you want to see someone who has some awesome original artwork, and just someone who's just a good guy all around, right? You see him on his own show, you see him throughout the community. The dude's super knowledgeable when it comes to books, and I just think he's a great member of this community. I don't normally enter giveaways. I normally don't. But when I saw Kavi doing one, I was like, you know what, this is one that I want to jump on board with. And I think the last one I actually entered was Kavi's a long time ago when we did the Spare Change Challenge. But it's also a special edition because I'm doing a 2-for-1. So if you haven't watched my channel, you know that every once in a while I'll do a little episode called Tipsy Bidding, which is where I go online and I actually sometimes just a little bit intoxicated, sometimes severely intoxicated, and I start buying stuff on eBay or an auction or something like that, right? And I show off what I got. And it kind of worked out good because I've been meaning to show this one thing off, which is definitely classifies under tipsy bidding, but also helps fulfill the challenge that Kavi has set before us, and that is to show off at least 2 collectibles. I want to show off a little bit more than that. It doesn't have to be necessarily comic book related. So the first thing I'm going to say, my early collecting days, the first things I remember collecting were comic books. Like I said, Wolverine #6. I got signed by Chris Claremont, at least not then, but that was my very first comic book I got back in the late 80s. Still have it. Got Chris Claremont to sign it. Love it. But I'm not going to show off comic books. Y'all know I already collect comic books. I want to show off some different stuff today. So the other thing I like to collect is I used to really collect baseball cards. Right? And because I love playing baseball. I grew up playing baseball. I was on the All-Stars every year. Played from the time I was 6 till I was 18. I never played school ball because I didn't like playing with them idiots. Like I was a city league guy, right? I like playing city ball. So played baseball every single year. That's my sport. That's my jam. I was a huge baseball fan, and therefore I collected baseball cards. Now, I'm a New York Yankees fan. All right, my parents are from North Jersey. Mom's in Caldwell. Dad was in Montclair. NYC. If you're watching this, you might know where those are at. So it's a hip, skip, and a jump to NYC. All right. So, but they came down here, down south, had me. I'm a first-generation Southerner, right? But I was born and raised a Yankees fan. And growing up, my favorite team was the Yankees. It was the Yankees, and not only that, my favorite player was Don Mattingly. So I got out of the baseball collecting scheme a long time ago just because, I kind of grew out of it. Even though I still enjoyed baseball, I just grew out of the collecting baseball cards. But one card that always eluded me, especially as a kid, was this one. And then it's Don Mattingly's rookie card. Right there. And I actually bought this about 2 years ago. I saw it. I was like, I can't pass this up. Like I said, I grew up with posters of this dude on my wall. Like Donnie Baseball, first baseman of the New York Yankees. He was my favorite player. So, boom. And even though I don't have the cards to show you, I will tell you a little bit of a story. I also used to collect comic book cards back in the early 90s. So I think it was the Marvel Masterpiece ones. I collected several different ones, several different series, but the Marvel Masterpiece, I think it was a series 1. I don't know if they even had multiple series. Me and my friends would go down to the little card shop a few blocks down, ride our bikes down there, and I really got into this series of Marvel Masterpieces. Collected. I can't tell you how many $100 I spent on trying to get that full run. there was one card that eluded me. One card that eluded me. And it was Cerebus. Alright? It was a special foil edition card. Always eluded me. That's the only one I needed to finish the stack. I'll put a picture of it right here. Anyway, when I was actually up in Jersey, and it might be in Montclair, might have been in Verona, somewhere in that area. Went to a comic book shop that also sold cards. They wouldn't sell me the single card. They said, we'll sell you the whole thing. And all I needed was one card. And here I am, I'm like 11, 12 years old. I had some money in my pocket because I was on vacation. I spent $60 on the whole set to get that one Cerebus card. And you know what happens? And I was already kicking myself in the butt. I was like, man, that's a lot of money. I didn't want to spend that kind of money. But I just know how many packs I'd opened up and did not find that card. Anyway, come home. That first week coming back home, my friend, we go to the shop. He gets his pack of cards, opens it up, boom. He gets that one card that I was looking for. So that kind of, after that happened, I was like, man, I don't know if I'm chasing cards anymore. But like I said, this is the last baseball card I ever bought. Not saying it's the last one I'll ever buy, but I had to get me a Don Mattingly rookie card. So there you go. So on to other things. If you know me, I'm a big, huge Spidey fan. Huge Spider-Man fan. And I got nicknamed Spidey so much that, boom, even my license plate used to say Spidey 1. Right? But, and I have tons of knickknacks, because that's what people would give me as gifts. They would give me just everything Spider related. So anything from, bobbleheads to this cool. This is actually my bedroom. Oh, don't want to drop this because I could actually hurt myself. It's a Spider-Man hand that holds a little sword or a little knife. So I got that in my room. But also this guy. I've had this ever since I was a kid, and the only other person I've seen that has had one of these was Reggie from Reggie Collects. One day I see it in his background up on his wall. I was like, dude, that's my Spidey. One of the most limited mobility when it comes to Spidey. It's got a little bit of hip action, a little bit of this. But I've always loved this. I've had it since I was a little kid. But I love everything Spidey. And like I said, I have a whole box of stuff in storage right now that's nothing but little Spidey knickknacks. And I got them spread out throughout the house, don't get me wrong, but this guy always stays up here with my comic book collection. So yeah, so love me some Spidey. Now, I also dig into other things. I'm big into nostalgia, right? I'm an 80s baby, right? So I do have some cool little things like old school Game Boy, which still works, believe it or not. Actually got this at a yard sale many, many years ago. And actually the game in it right now is the old Looney Tunes game. So I love some gaming. That's something I do in my spare time. Usually PS4, but I still have my original NES. Right? Last time I plugged it in, it still worked. But every once in a while it's good to get in there and play some original games. Like I love this one, Rad Racer. Me and my dad, we used to play the hell out of this game. Got that. Super Mario Bros. 3. That's a classic. Can't go wrong with that one. But my very first one, the one that actually came with that console, was the trio pack. The Super Mario Brothers #1, Duck Hunt, and the World Class Track Meet. And I'm sure I still have the pad somewhere. I don't know exactly where it is, but with the track meet, it had the pad. We had to, run real fast. But of course, Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt was where it's at. And I still have the gun. Now, the gun doesn't work no more. And I don't know if that's because the gun just actually doesn't work anymore, if there's something to do with the TV. Because back in the day, we had the big box TVs, right? Now everything's like the whole, flat screen, plasma, all that. So I wonder if it's the screen or the gun that's not working right. But there you go. But going on nostalgia's sake, I'm just a big fan of stuff that came out back in the day. And so one of them you might have seen up on this wall in previous shows, right? But this is when I really started to get back into collecting and actually starting hitting up auctions, not only on eBay, but also local, like estate sales and stuff like that. And I saw this and I was like, I had to have it. I had to have it. And this is it from 1993. They briefly came out with these things called, were they headlights? I believe the headlights. Anyway, it's a wall nightlight, and it still works. And I saw it, and I was like, man, if I can win this, awesome. But it's got the little 3D action going on. Not the, it's 90s. It's early 90s commercial goodness, alright? So, I love that. And this was kind of one of my introductions into Tipsy bidding, because this is when I was starting to get into collecting again. I'll be hitting the auctions up, and I see something, I'm like, I want it. Which comes back to my actual Tipsy bidding when it comes to collecting. One of my latest ones, so I saw this item, and I was like, I would either love to have that in my collection, or I would love to get that in order to make sure it goes into the right hands. Because sometimes with these auctions, you get people who go in there and they just try to make a quick buck. I don't sell anything. I've never sold a comic book. I've never sold anything comic book related. At least not as of yet. Maybe one day I will, but that's not what I do. But if I find something, I want to make sure it gets into the right collector's hands. And I saw this and I was like, man, that's sweet. And not only that, we are actually coming up on the 50th anniversary of this product. And it was actually funny. I was at my friend's house. I was like, dude, I'm watching this auction. He's like, man, he's like, if I'll pay you so much for it. And that's exactly the amount of money I bought it for. But I'm just going to go ahead and show y'all. This is a 1971 G.I. Joe headquarters. Right, now this part does go down, but what's cool about it is it actually came with, it does not have the box. That's the one thing it does not have. Let me see if I can do this without making a mess. But it does have all the accessories that came with it. And it even comes with the paperwork. So the instructions and whatnot, which is pretty cool. I still need to clean this bad boy up. I actually just bought this a few weeks ago. I've actually been hiding it at my friend's house because I knew if my wife saw this, she'd be like, what are you going to do with that thing? Right? Which is what happens sometimes when you're collecting. You kind of run out of space. And this is probably one, I may keep, I played with G.I. Joes growing up. I love G.I. Joes. But I would rather get this into the hands of someone else who's more of a G.I. Joe fan than I am. But like I said, it was a drunk bidding. All right, we can go beyond Tipsy. This was a drunk bidding where it's like, I gotta have it, and I pressed that button, and as soon as I pressed that button, I knew that I was winning. You've all been there. You're like, oh crap! I kind of hope someone does outbid me, right? It happens. I ended up winning. I'm glad I won it because it is cool. It is cool. It just, I really would like to get this in the hands of someone else who is more of a collector of G.I. Joe stuff, especially because, like I said, this is from 1971. This is the 50th year anniversary, and I'm pretty sure I'll have no hard time actually finding it a good home, especially where I live. I live in a military town. So, but yeah, that is my latest Tipsy bidding winning. And do keep an eye out for other Tipsy bidding videos. I have like 4 or 5 boxes of comics I still need to open up. But with that said, those are just a few collectibles. I like knickknacks. I like the stuff for nostalgia's sake. I like the weird stuff. Love me some Spider-Man. Y'all already know I love my comic books. But I want to do a little bit different thing today, especially for this video, to show off some stuff that's stuff that I have that I don't normally show off, which is I think is a great idea from Kavi of expanding it to all collectibles for this contest. But definitely go check out Kavi. Go sub him up. You won't be steered wrong. It's a great channel to be subbed up to. And with that being said, y'all, happy Valentine's Day. This is actually the last day of the contest. I'm kind of sneaking in towards the very end. I'm cutting it close, I know, but I'm trying to sneak it in there. But with all that being said, y'all, it is Valentine's Day. Hope you have a good one. If you have a significant other, or hope you have a good day. Treat them right. Make them dinner, take them out to dinner, whatever the case may be. But with that being said, this is the Comic Assassin. I'll check y'all later. Kavi, once again, congrats, man, for reaching them 1,000 subs, dude. You deserve it. I'm surprised you're not already at 2,000, but we'll see you when you get there. All right, man. Peace.